Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Munatira Banachari Jaya Ramadava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga, Gandharvika Giridhari, Radhika Raman, Radhika Krishna Vanamali Giriju Ki Jai Ho. Om Agana Timirandasya, Jananjana Salakaya, Chakshu Militam Yena, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manopistam, Stapitam Yena Bhutale, Swayam Rupa Kadamayam, Dadati Swapadantikam. Namo Mahavandanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gora Tavashe Namaha. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I'd like to offer my heartfelt Puspanjali to the lotus feet of my Harinam Diksha Guru, my everything, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami, our Srila Prabhupada. And second of all, to my Bhajan Shiksha Guru, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, our Gurudev, to Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, and to our entire Guru Parampara, and especially to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and his Madhurya Kadambini. And today we have Madhavatiti Bhakti Janani Ekādasī Devi Ki Jai, but it's actually not Ekādasī today, it's Mahadwadasi today. Very special day. And for those at Gleaster and Vrindavan, for those of us who are following our particular calendar, we have about 5 minutes to do Paran tomorrow. So we have to be very, very careful tomorrow doing Paran. And Paran is very, very important part of Ekādasī. We know from the story of Maharaj Ambarish, don't we? Paran is part of Ekādasī. That's such a long history. I will not say the whole history now, but, but from that we learn. One should always try their best to do Paran on time. And if we don't, then we should beg forgiveness from Ekādasī Devi, because we see Ekādasī Devi is Bhakti Janani, the mother of Ekādasī. So we don't want to offend our mother, the one who's actually giving us bhakti and nourishing our bhakti and helping our bhakti grow and grow. So we try and be very respectful and careful about Ekādasī. In fact, I wanted to say a few things today about Ekādasī and Mahadvadasi. It's so important. There's a nice example given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita of this. Please come. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself was always trying to encourage everyone to follow Ekādasī. So one day, when it's between 5 and 10, it was his Puganda time. He's between 5 years old and 10 years old. He went to his own mother. This is what it said in the book, 5 to 10, Puganda. That's what it says. I don't know. So it's during his Puganda years, and he went to his mother, his own mother, Sachi Devi. And he said, "Mother, dear mother, I want to beg something from you. I want something from you." And she said, "Oh, my dear son, I will give you whatever you want." And so he said, "Will you please follow Ekādasī? Please, please, please follow Ekādasī." So obviously she had not been following Ekādasī up to that time. And so she said, "Oh, my son, you've spoken so well. From this time on, I will always follow Ekādasī," like this. So even his own mother, he begged her to follow Ekādasī. And Srila Prabhupada, in his purport, he explains one thing, that there was a tradition back in those times of the Smarta Brahmins, that if one was a widow, a lady without her husband, she would follow Ekādasī. But those that had husbands, it was called swadama or swadava. Swadava. I think it's swadava, meaning your husband is living. Those ladies did not follow Ekādasī. This was some kind of Smarta belief. So it appears that she was not following Ekādasī because of that, because her husband was living. Jagannath Mishra was still alive. But from that day on, she started following Ekādasī. So if the Supreme Personality of Godhead asks his own mother what to speak of us, it's for our all auspiciousness. Following Ekādasī is auspicious. We just don't see things from Krishna's point of view or Mahaprabhu's point of view. He only wants the best for us. He only wants auspiciousness for us. So we shouldn't be like some personalities, and I've had this in the past. Fortunately, I don't have it so much now. It's kind of like dreading Ekādasī. When is it coming? Oh dear, this is going to be really difficult. Although in one sense it wasn't. When I first joined, way back in 1972, Prabhupada, I don't remember so much, but he asked us to chant 25 rounds, because remember, we were chanting 16 rounds a day, and for us that was difficult. That wasn't so easy. We're just coming out of hippie life. We weren't used to doing these kind of things. But he asked us to chant 25 rounds on Ekādasī, like that. That was our, and after that, then we would take a little, and we would fast, and we would take a little bit of an Ekādasī feast after afternoon, like that. And so surely, if it's for auspiciousness, we can very happily follow Ekādasī. But Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, he takes it even further. He says, really, Ekādasī isn't just fasting from forbidden food or from food that we're not supposed to take, which is grains and beans. That's considered prasadam. And they're given to Vishnu, or Radha and Krishna, on Ekādasī day. They don't fast. So in our kitchen, especially in the deity kitchen, like for the Raj Seva, when you have installed big deities, they cook and offer grains and beans on Ekādasī. They have to. But the Vaishnavas, they never take that Mahaprasadam on Ekādasī. Even though it's Mahaprasadam, we don't take. We can take the next day because prasadam never is spoiled, actually. And we only take those foods that are recommended in the Shastras, like fruits, nuts, certain vegetables, not all vegetables, because they're kind of like flowers, like that. We can take milk products like this. And we follow the instructions of Sri Guru. And then our lives become auspicious. But as Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj says, it's called Upabas. Upabas are those days, it's even like Janmashtami, any Vishnu Tattva day, appearance day, and Ekādasī, it's Upabas. And it doesn't just mean fasting. It means actually coming closer to the Lord. Upa, coming close, sitting next to the Lord. Vas is place, like this. And so, where is that place? Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj reminds us that place is where the devotees are doing kirtan. Wherever the devotees are doing kirtan, then Bhagavan goes there. He's always there. So on Ekādasī or Janmashtami, any of these Upavas days, the devotees, they do kirtan from their heart with other devotees if possible. And if we're living around the world where there are no devotees or something, then we understand that because we have our Guru Parampara. We do our kirtan for the pleasure of the Guru Parampara. We have their pictures. They're non-different from their pictures. They're non-different from their names. So we do kirtan with our Guru Parampara and all the Vaishnavas. They're there. We can do kirtan with other devotees. They may not be physically before us, but they are there. Our Sri Guru is always with us. Like that. So we do kirtan with them for their pleasure. This is real Ekādasī. And we try and honor as little as we can. We try and take as little as possible, only what we need to keep our body and soul together so we can do our service on Ekādasī. Because it isn't that we should just do Nirjala Ekādasī. It's good if we can. If we can do Nirjala Ekādasī, that's very commendable. But if you're doing Nirjala Ekādasī and you're just in bed and you're in pain and you can't do any service, you can't even chant, what is the point? No. Ekādasī is meant to increase our bhakti. And bhakti is service to Bhagavan. So we should be doing more service. So we need to take whatever it is that will help us to increase our service. Like that. So we should be careful with Ekādasī, that it isn't just, oh no, now I have to fast from beans and grains and eggplants, and tomatoes, and oh dear, this is really difficult. Oh no, what to speak of Chaturmasya? Oh my goodness. And what to speak of this year, we're having Purushottam. It's going to be 5 months, no tomatoes. Oh, I don't think I can live. There's some persons like this. I know. And then they decide, okay, well, I will just follow that during Kartik. The rest of the time, it's okay. It's okay. No, we should try our best. Because there's plenty of, even like you look at our acharyas. We shouldn't imitate the acharyas, of course, but we can become inspired by them. Like you see Raghunath Das Goswami. When he finally came to Vrindavan, he was just taking a little leaf cup of buttermilk. What to speak of Madhavendra Puri? He didn't take anything until it came to him, and that was only milk, and that was at the end of the day. Sometimes. Now, we can't imitate that, but actually, we don't need so much to survive. It's mainly because we're raised thinking, especially from the Western world, and I think in Indians too, you have to have 3 meals a day or you're going to die. And the 3 meals a day have to include this, this, and this, the 4 food groups, or you're going to die. It's like we're so conditioned to eat, not to honor Mahaprasadam, not to do prasad seva, like this. So on Ekādasī we have a chance, we have a real chance to try and step back and just see our life and rededicate our life to Guru Seva. Everything for us should be Guru Vaishnav Seva. If we don't actually have our Diksha Guru yet, still we should see that all Vaishnavas are our Shiksha Gurus. We have Guru. Everyone has Guru, even if you don't have your Diksha Guru yet. But your Diksha Guru is waiting for you to find him, or he'll find you sooner or later. And our whole life, every 24 hours a day should be Guru Seva. So at this point, we also still have to honor prasadam, and we still have to sleep a bit. Because really, when one is doing Nirjala Ekādasī, one is actually not supposed to sleep either. No sleeping. And no water, no foodstuffs, and chanting 24 hours. Chanting day and night. Or hearing Harikatha, giving Harikatha. That is, but nowadays most of us are not qualified to do that. I did it once, actually. But I was just falling asleep. It was so dry for me. I can't say it really nourished my bhakti because it was so difficult physically for me. You know, I never did it again, especially without sleep, because I couldn't function the next day, and I just had to sleep the next day, the whole day. So, Hare Krishna. So I wasn't qualified to do that. So we have to see where our qualification is. But then we can see the examples of these Mahabhagavatas, and we can get inspired by that. Oh, when, like for us ladies, when will I be like you, Ganga Mata Goswamini? And for the men, when will I be like you, Raghunath Das Goswami, Madhavendra Puri? When, oh when? Will my bhakti finally blossom and prema will come? So it will come when our bhakti is mature, and Ekādasī helps our bhakti and nourishes our bhakti so that it will mature more and mature more and mature more. Right now, Shraddha is, some Shraddha is there, or we wouldn't be doing bhakti. Some Shraddha is there, right? And Sadhu Sangha is there. And are we doing Sadhu Sangha? What does Sadhu Sangha mean? Sadhu Sangha, does it mean just sitting in the ashram of our guru? Just sitting there? And hearing sometimes? No, it means service. Sadhu Sangha means service. It means we serve the Harikatha that he's speaking. We serve his instructions, whatever his instructions are, we serve them. Guru Seva, this is Sadhu Sangha. Vaishnav Seva, this is Sadhu Sangha. So by this Sadhu Sangha, then Anartha Nivritti is going on, and the anarthas are going, and we reach Nishtha, right? You know, and then we reach Ruchi, Ashakti, Bhav, Prem, and then automatically whatever Krishna wants will be there. We might be like Madhavendra Puri and not take anything until Krishna himself brings us the milk, you know? Or Rupa Sanatana Goswami, Srimati Radharani herself brought everything and cooked everything. That's, you know, that is our goal. Our goal is to become the footsteps of Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, to become part of the group of Rupa Manjari. This is our goal. So Ekādasī Devi nourishes this. So we should very carefully follow to the best of our ability. And it makes a difference also who we are associating with. Because if you're with other devotees who are trying to do that, it becomes easier. But if you're with devotees, especially around the world, it's difficult, because many devotees around the world, because their lack of association, really, it's very hard for them to follow Ekādasī at all. Or at least very strictly. It's very difficult without association, you know? So we should try, even if we're around the world, to follow Ekādasī, to try and stay away from that mundane association that's there all around us, and take the association of our Guru Parampara, the sadhus that we know, you know, the scriptures like this. Don't just try. We should try at least part of the day. If you have to work, that's one thing. But we try. We try and dedicate the morning and the evening at least, if you can't dedicate all day. Because it nourishes our bhakti. This will make us happy. Because it makes Guru happy, then we'll get happy. Because we don't want sense gratification, the happiness that comes from sense gratification. We're doing bhakti so that we can become free from that. We're doing bhakti so we can get spiritual happiness. No, that isn't even why we're doing it. Ultimately, we're doing it so that we can please Krishna, whether we're happy or not. Selfless, right? And that's a different kind of happiness. Okay, oh, and then one other thing I wanted to say about Ekādasī is there's a beautiful song in the Gaudiya Giti Gucha where Mahaprabhu, he's in Shiva Sangam, and he's asking for Harinam Sankirtan, for Kirtan. And all day long, he and his devotees are doing Kirtan. And it says the auspiciousness goes through the whole universe. And he's dancing, and everyone is completely absorbed. Everyone is feeling the topmost transcendental bliss all day, all night. This is the goal. One day we can enter the Ekādasī Harinam Sankirtan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there at Shiva Sangam. Oh, that's service, that's possible. That's our goal. This is the thing, because we're going to now come to the Madhurya Kadambini. We have the last two Nāma aparādhas. The ninth one is to preach the glories of the Lord to those who are not faithful, those who don't have faith in the holy name. They don't respect the holy name. This is, now we have to analyze this. Now some people think, well, that means that therefore we should not have a Harinam Sankirtan. We should not distribute books. We should never ask anyone to chant Hare Krishna. No, it doesn't mean that. The loud chanting of the holy name for the benefit of all living entities, that's different. We're not instructing them about the ultimate glories of the holy name. The glories of the holy name are that the holy name is completely transcendental. It's made of Visuddhishsattva. In fact, it's Radha and Krishna themselves. That is the personification of the topmost prem. So the topmost prem has descended, has come. Who has brought it? The songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur tell us, Jeev Jago, Mahaprabhu says, wake up, I brought the holy name, I brought the medicine for you. I brought it. Please take the medicine. What is it? Harinam. So if he's brought this medicine, that means it's going to go to the sick people. Medicine is for sick people, right? So the holy name is for everyone. But we don't necessarily tell them all the glories of the holy name. We just say, please chant Hare Krishna. Like when we're out on Harinam Sankirtan, we're chanting and we aren't thinking, we're just thinking this is for the pleasure of Sri Guru and Gauranga. Everyone will benefit like this. Even the little insects will benefit, right? So we're doing Harinam, and then someone comes up, passing by, we say, please chant Hare Krishna. This is okay. This is following the instructions of Mahaprabhu. He says, become a guru and go out and liberate the whole world. This is Mahaprabhu's instructions. So we have to act like that. We may not be Mahabhagavata gurus, but we're following the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we're going out and we're saying, please chant Hare Krishna. Please add Krishna to your life. There's that other song, Nadia Godrume, and saying, please, Bolo Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha, chant Krishna, worship Krishna, follow his instructions. Krishna's our mother, Krishna's our father, Krishna's our wealth, everything. And then, but chant without offense. So eventually, if someone comes and has a little sangha, he has a little bit of faith then. See, the glories of the holy name can be preached according to the adhikar. And if one has a little faith, then one can be told a few glories of the holy name, you see. To the faithless, we just try and get them to chant a little bit, like this. And even if they chant neglectfully, even in scorn, any way they chant, even if they chant in any way, Boga or Prasad? Here. Thank you. Here, let's just put here. There's some Tulsi right up there. Let's see. No matter how they chant, the holy name is auspicious for those persons. Now, if we were to chant disrespectfully, then that becomes aparādha. But for anyone, the chanting of in the silver thing over on the left, if any way they chant, it's beneficial for them. Prabhupada has said that, Mahaprabhu says that, even like you take the example of book distribution, because this is full of the holy name, right? And we were distributing them everywhere to everybody. And sometimes we would find the books in the garbage can, all ripped up, or they would be in the gutter. And we went to Prabhupada and we said, Prabhupada, and he said, don't worry about it. They're killing their babies in the womb. What can you expect? Go on distributing. Go on distributing. Amazing, huh? Go on. So we go on distributing the holy name. I want to give an example from my own life. As you know, before I was a devotee, I was a hippie. And we were doing all kinds of abominable activities. Yeah, at least we were vegetarians. Anyhow, one time I was living out in the middle of the desert in Utah. Or maybe it was New Mexico. I think it was New Mexico. One of the two places. In the middle of the desert, it was a hippie commune, and everyone had their little adobe hut or their teepee or whatever it was, and we'd get together at night around the campfire, right? And somehow or other, I don't know how, because there was no devotees in one sense there, although the person next to me was reading Prabhupada's Nectar Devotion, but they weren't really a devotee. Maybe they were. But somehow or other, we just learned the holy name. And we even learned the Tulsi prayer. And at night around the campfire with our guitar, we'd be dancing around, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We didn't even know what we were doing. And we were doing all kinds of sinful activities, But the holy name was going everywhere. This is Mahaprabhu. This is Madhurya Kadambini, the rainfall of compassion, of Madhurya, of the sweetness of Krishna, Radha and Krishna from Vraja Vrindavan coming down. And it inundated first Bengal, Navadvip, Navadvip Dham, Gormandal. Then it went all over Bharatvarsh. And then it's gone all over the world. The holy name is just dancing and finding everyone and bringing auspiciousness to everyone. Isn't it? Prabhupada stood under that tree in Tompkins Square Park, and he didn't have any instruments. He had a little bongo drum, and he didn't use a fancy, attractive tune. No, he was just Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Nāma, Hare Nāma, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And what happened? Even Prabhupada, he said was, yes, the worms and stools started to come up. And he started dancing, because you can see in the old videos, all these hippies are dancing around, or students are dancing in their clothes, and they're completely mesmerized. They don't know what it is, but they are so attracted. All the people. Or if you see, there's videos of Prabhupada at some Rath Yatras, the Rath Yatra in San Francisco. I was there for 2 or 3 of them. Unbelievable. Almost all non-devotees. They don't know anything. There's Lord Jagannath in Golden Gate Park. We've just had the Rath Yatra through San Francisco. We've ended in Golden Gate Park. It's full of all kinds of non-devotees. Hippies, businessmen, middle-class Americans, women, men, everybody. And Prabhupada's on the stage with the devotees, and the whole place is mesmerized with chanting Hare Krishna. Everyone's dancing in ecstasy, and Prabhupada's looking out, and you can imagine how he felt. This is a service for his Guru Maharaj, for Bhakti Siddhanta. Hundreds of people were chanting and dancing in ecstasy with the Hare Krishna mantra. They don't even know. They have no idea who Jagannath Balaram Subhadra is. But they're dancing, they're happy. And then there was Mahaprasadam afterwards. Unbelievable, the power of the pure holy name coming from the pure devotee, coming from Vraja Vrindavan. There's nothing more powerful, because Krishna, he's the source of all strength, all beauty, all qualities, all love and affection. Of course, that Srimati Radharani's there, she's, but Radha and Krishna. This is the holy name. So if we start to, if we start to instruct the non-devotees about, if you chant Hare Krishna, you're going to become a gopi, and you're going to, whatever, this is not appropriate. But you see what Prabhupada showed by his example. You simply chant Hare Nam, and you get and they'll start experiencing something, and then that experience will give them faith. You see, by faith. A little faith. Oh, and then you hear one thing, you can say, oh, except for to the atheists. They're more difficult. But still, they chant and they feel happy, you know. You say, this is the name of God. There's Christ, there's Allah. So Krishna, it's a name for God. Just chant the name of God. Or, I know sometimes when I was distributing books, I would just say, you know, if the person obviously was an atheist or something, you would say, what did I say? I would try and ask him to chant Hare Krishna. So it means, because the ones that believed in God, you could say, oh, this means God bless you or something like that, right? Something simple. But for those that didn't believe in God, you could say, oh, this means please be happy. It's something, you know, that it means in a very indirect way. If you just chant, it'll make you happy, so it means be happy. Because in the hippie world we had, well, Prabhupada has chant and be happy, but we also had that kind of saying in the hippie world too. Baba Ram Dass and all this is, you know, because it was all filtering down through. So this is what we do. We try and get everyone to chant a little bit. And then by a little bit more faith, then they can be told a little bit more. Now if we, especially as mentioned in the commentary here of Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, if a guru starts to instruct his disciples in a way that's not appropriate to their adhikar, like way too high, the glories of the holy name, they'll all fall down. The guru will fall down. The disciples will fall down. This is offense. We have to be very careful. He said, I've heard Srila Narayana Maharaj said, in general preaching, we speak Bhagavad Gita. You know, Bhagavad Gita, general, you're not this body, chant Hare Krishna, like this. And to new persons, this is how Prabhupada taught us when we first came. It was very general. And Srimad Bhagavatam. And then as we become more qualified, then we come to understand more of the glories. So we should be careful when we're talking to others, because if we commit this offense, then we have to take shelter of a sadhu, a real sadhu, who understands the glories of the name, and serve that sadhu. Serve that sadhu and continually chant. Then we'll become free from the offense of preaching the glories of the holy name inappropriately to persons who don't have faith. You see, because what will happen if they don't have faith, they'll use the holy name inappropriately for sinful activities, or they will just neglect it. They may even speak bad about it. You see what I mean? They can say all kinds of bad things about the holy name. I'm looking for a word. They will offend. They will literally offend the holy name. You know, they'll say it's not real. It's not this. You know, they will offend the holy name. So if you've given that, then you also become offensive. Blaspheme, that's the word. They'll blaspheme the holy name. And they'll neglect it. So that's the 9th offense. Now the 10th offense is very interesting. To still maintain the idea, even after hearing the glories of the Lord and hearing all the Harikatha from our Guru Parampara, we still think, I am the body. I am the body made of earth, water, fire, air, ether, or if you want to get more in the purport, stool, urine, mucus. If we're still thinking that I am the body, and anything related to my body is mine. This is called, how do you say it, ahanta and mamata. Ahankar, but there's another word they have. It's ahanta. This is false ego. And you can see, in the beginning, I mean, everyone has this. You know, we come with this. But almost immediately, you hear, because Bhagavad Gita, the foundation, says, I'm not the body. This is our first teaching. I know when I joined, this is all Prabhupada was saying. You're not the body. You're not the body. Aham brahmasmi. You're not the body. How many times did Prabhupada have to say this? Aham brahmasmi. You're not the body. And nothing belongs to you. Everything belongs to Krishna. So if, after we've been practicing, let's say 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, If we're still thinking, I'm the body, and this belongs to me, that's an offense to the holy name. It's an offense to Guru, Gauranga, and Radha and Krishna. It means we haven't heard anything. It means we haven't really tried to make the instructions of Sri Guru, the Vaishnavas, and Krishna our life and soul. We're not taking it seriously. And we haven't really chanted carefully. We haven't tried, because it's said in the song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, one has to chant without offense. You see, without offense. And become join the family of Krishna, give up all bad association, all bad activities, and Jiva Doi Harinam. But the Harinam must be done carefully. Really understanding what these offenses are, trying our best not to commit them, and praying, oh, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me, Holy Harinam. Please forgive me, Gurudev. Please forgive me, Vaishnavas. Please give me strength. Isn't that? This is the teachings of Raghunath Das Goswami in his Manashiksha. Manashiksha, when we're attacked on the road, the royal road of bhakti, we've now been given a chance to enter and to come on the path of bhakti. But sometimes we get attacked by thugs and dacoits, right? And who are they? Lust, anger, greed, envy, illusion, pride. Attack us. Or even thinking that wanting liberation or wanting a lot of money, whatever it is. And what are we supposed to do? We call out to the great generals, the commanders-in-chief of Lord Chaitanya Sankirtan movement. Who's that? Swarup Damodar, Rai Ramananda, Haridas Thakur, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Sri Guru. We call out and they will help us. So if we're chanting along and all these things are coming and we don't really care. In fact, we just, okay, lust comes, okay, let's dive into it. Okay, greed comes along, okay, we'll just dive into that. Let me eat 20 samosas today, they eat so. You know, how are you going to be able to chant? You're not. You're just gonna, no. So we have to actually be sincere enough to call out for help. And we have to take our service to Sri Guru very, very seriously. And the number one service is chanting the holy name, isn't it? Every single, what is the first instruction? Well, Srila Prabhupada, when we were initiated, he would call us up because it was, first you had to say the 4 regular principles. No meeting, blah, blah. No illicit sex. No intoxication. No gambling. And then what was, how many rounds are you going to chant? 16 rounds. Okay, your name is. So everyone, and when you first are initiated, how many rounds do he ask you to do? Because we should always do more. And we should always, even if we can't do that many, we should think, oh, I'm so sorry. At least we should chant with quality. You see? Trying. At least one Hare Krishna mantra a day should be like crying from our heart, even if the 16 rounds can't be. Something should be from the heart. You see? And if we do that, what will happen? A taste will come. It must come. It will come. So if we aren't getting a taste, and we're still really thinking, I am the body, and this belongs to me, and the harder one, because we kind of, you know, it's kind of been pounded into us, we're not the body. We may not really be able to act on it and have realized it, but pretty much we kind of believe, yes, I'm not the body. But to believe that doesn't belong to me, as soon as someone takes your wallet and runs off, my money! My money. Not, oh, that was Gurudev's money. He's running off with Gurudev's money. He's running off with Krishna. No, it's mine. Or if someone comes in and say, oh, okay, I think you should just leave now. I want this room. What are we going to think? It's my room. What do you mean? You go out of here. It's much more difficult than mine. This belongs to me. Very difficult. So we have to practice. We have to practice. We all should have Thakurji. It's either a picture, or your japa, your harinam, Thakurji, and we should keep reminding ourselves, this is Thakurji's room. This is Thakurji's chair. This is Thakurji's money. I am Thakurji's servant. My lady who helps me, she is Thakurji's servant, not my lady. She has Thakurji's. We have to practice this. We have to, or we'll get stuck in this 10th offense. We'll be very stuck. And we have no taste. No taste. And this is really, in one sense, you can see why it's an offense, because it's really, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like an offense to our guru. You know, I mean, if he's giving us so much, and we still have, yeah, we're disobeying, but it's kind of, it's almost like no, there's another word I'm looking for. Ungrateful. It's like we're ungrateful to Sri Guru, because we're not like trying to please, you know. It's like we aren't showing the proper, even etiquette, you know, the proper, the words aren't coming, respect, even for Guru. What to speak of love and affection, you know? So, this one's very difficult, very subtle. Very subtle. And in the commentary, Srila Gurudev, later he talks about this point in a more detailed manner. He talks about how, by good fortune, when one finally somehow or other he gets a little drop of Shraddha, somehow by some sadhu sangha, either reading something, hearing something, somehow. He may be a Christian, he may be a Muslim, and he thinks, I want to be a Vaishnava. I want to be a servant of God. He might not know the word Vaishnava, but I want to be a servant of God. And God, Bhagavan, Krishna, whoever, I want to serve him. Then, a little bit of Shraddha, he becomes qualified at that point to actually finally follow bhakti. Finally he's come to the path of bhakti. You see? But what is the most important thing? The most important thing is that sadhu sangha. Always, 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 somehow, sadhu sangha. And then the faith will mature. And we'll be able to chant a little bit more. And with more affection. With more deep attachment. And so what will come? What will come is nishta, ruchi, ashakti. And finally, bhav. And that's the real thing. Bhav. Then the Siddha Deha comes, and it matures into what? Prem, Sneha, Man, Pranaya. Then one can enter into the Leelas of Radha and Krishna. And at that point, in the Siddha Deha, our spiritual body, which is made of our own personal mood of service, of bhav, our own bhav. Everyone's got their own personal one. You don't need to be envious of anyone else. Everyone's got their own. Then in that spirit, we can actually serve Radha and Krishna. Not until that point, really. We're not, you know, we're desiring it, we're wanting it. Well, until we can enter Leela and we have that praying, you see, then at that point, no more anartha, no more offense. 100% we don't think we're the material body. We're completely absorbed, of course, in transcendence. No more, this is mine. Everything's Radha and Krishna's. At that point, we're completely purified. What is it in the first one? Sarvatma snapanam param vijayate, 100%. It's by chanting. Cheto darpanam marjanam. It's a gradual process. But wherever we're at, we should be going forward. You see, that's what Srila Gurudev would say. When he was traveling around the world, and he would meet Srila Prabhupada's disciples, or Srila Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami Maharaj, that have been devotees for a long time. A long time. Say, you should not still be in first class. You should not be in first class. You have to progress. You need to be going. Or this is like it doesn't represent your guru very well. You know? You have bona fide guru. How, you know, you have so you must advance. Because if you don't advance, what happens? You go backwards. And what happens? You commit offense. And then you really get blocked. See, so this is very important to know the 10 offenses that we've just been talking about, and especially to keep reminding ourselves, I am a spirit soul. Actually, I have a potential. I've been told now, because I've become a little qualified. I've been told, who am I? Who do I have the potential? Who am I? But I haven't realized that I am actually a maidservant of Srimati Radhika. I have a ways to go. But we have to focus. And so we're praying, we're chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare, oh Radha, oh Krishna, please, please bestow your mercy on me. Please make me qualified so I can serve you. Please, Premadan, Bhava Bindu, Sevamrita Dan, that Adhikar. This is calling out from the heart to the holy name. Not, I have it. Oh yes, I'm a little Manjarian. Oh yes, now I'm massaging Radharani's feet. No. When, oh when will that day be mine? When thy potential's a manifest reality. When? Calling out. When will I actually have unpretentious humility? Real humility. When? Because that's humility and prema are synonymous. Without humility, no prema. Without prema, no humility. It's not possible. When, oh when will that intense eagerness come? Please somehow make me eager for this. This is holy name. We can chant it at this point, whoever we are, because we've heard something. So we should have to pray for it. Pray for that taste. Pray for the respect. Pray for the taste in the holy name. I'm not tasting. Please, somehow. I'm that bee on the outside of the jar and the honey's in there. And I see everybody else is all tasting that honey and I'm not tasting the honey. Somehow make me qualified so I can get in the jar and taste the honey. And there is a fact that if one is like that, then Krishna will have to come. Guru will have to come. They will have to bestow their mercy. There's no way they won't bestow their mercy. Like this. That's good. Come. So, so this is, we're finally finishing the 10 of Hare Krishna. Please come. Okay, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, for the last few weeks, we've been studying the 10 offenses to the holy name. Because these are the main blockages, the main, the main barriers. We're on the path of bhakti, right? And why are we not getting prema right away? Why? Offenses. Offenses to the holy name. We're studying the Madhurya Kadambini. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has been telling us why. When we're chanting, are we not crying? Why are we not feeling this prema? Why? Because of past offenses. Offenses for how many lifetimes? So many lifetimes of offenses. So now we're learning what the offenses are. We don't want to commit them so that we can now go on in our bhakti. Because obviously we had come to some stage in bhakti before. But because of offenses, we got covered. And we it's like we lose our bhakti, but we don't really. It's there in the bank account, but we can't get to it. Not possible. And we're engaged in all kinds of material activities. Then finally we get another chance. We meet the sadhu. We come back to bhakti. And little by little we're coming along like this. So now it's like sabdan, be careful. Be careful. What was the first one? Don't fault find. Don't criticize, especially the devotees. But anyone, because eventually every spirit soul will become a sadhu, isn't it? So we don't criticize anyone. What was number two? Number two was thinking that Shiva is equal to Krishna. He is a control. He is like Vishnu Tattva, but he's not Krishna. He's a manifestation of Krishna. And also to think Krishna and his name and his form and his qualities are separate. No, everything about Krishna, his name, for everything is the same. Second offense. Third offense, to disobey the guru and to think the guru is a mundane person. oh, he knows everything spiritual, but he doesn't understand my material situation. No, Guru is 100% spiritual, understands everything. He can give you everything. He can take you back home, back to Godhead. Sri Guru. That is Uttam Adhikari Guru. Number 4 was, now I may get them, is that the imaginary or the...
Criticizing the Shastra.
Oh, okay, yes. I don't always... Oh, yes, number 4 was to criticize the Shastras. To somehow think that the Shastras... And that is very subtle, because for one who's come to Bhakti, they're not going to criticize the Bhakti Shastras, but they're bound almost, if they aren't very advanced and intelligent, they're going to criticize those Shastras that give Gyan and Karma. They'll say, oh, no, you don't give Bhakti. No. But we're learning that actually these Shastras are there for those persons who are so wanton, they're just totally into material life, sinful life even. So these, to come to the path of karma, where you have to act properly, so you got to get to the heavenly, but that makes so they'll come out of their sinful life, and they'll start to have a proper life, so that they can go on. One day they can get bhakti. Same with Gyan. So, and then number 5 was that? Exaggeration. Okay, I get them kind of mixed up. So to think that the glories of the holy name are exaggerated. Well, what do our acharyas say? They're not even a drop in the ocean of the glories of the holy name. There's no way the holy name can be, the glories are exaggerations. There's so much more and more and more. They can't even be explained to us, the glories, because it's Radha and Krishna. And so the other one was imaginary. It's just an imagination. What is it? Somebody in the past, some rishi made it up so that he could become famous, and like this. It's just imagination. It's not real. This actually, you're saying Krishna is just made up by some rishi? And then what was the next one?
It's sinful activities. Oh
yeah, sinful activities. Committing sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. This is real rascaldom. Real rascaldom, isn't it? Sri Guru Vaishnava of the holy name, they won't accept that. Oh, because I can get rid of all your sins, then you're going to go on sinning on my strength? No.
It's to compare Harinam with other parts, like...
Oh, yeah. To compare the holy name to other, like fruitive activities, the Gyan, like this. But no, they're all on the material platform. The holy name is completely spiritual. There's absolutely no comparison. Then the next one we did today was to preach the glories of the holy name to the faithless. And we talked about how that doesn't mean that we don't have Harinam. We do go out on Harinam, because we're not preaching the glories. We're just giving the mercy. We're instruments for the mercy of Mahaprabhu. Instruments. Please chant Hare Krishna. We're not telling them about Radha and Krishna. We're saying, please chant Hare Krishna. But if we start telling this new person, well, actually that's Radha and Krishna, they're in the Kunj and we don't do this. According to someone's adhikar, their qualification, we explain to them. All we can say to the new people is, please chant Hare Krishna. It will help you be happy. If they believe in God, say it's just names of God. Your God too, Allah, Buddha, whatever. It's like this. And if they have no belief in God, you just say, it'll make you happy. You'll see. Chant Hare Krishna will make you happy. Try it. And then the last one was to keep the conception, even after chanting a lot and hearing Harikatha, is to think, still, I'm the body. I am this body, and everything connected to my body is mine. It's mine. This is offensive. For after so long, we're still thinking, this is mine. And this is a hard one. We were talking about that. It's like I have my Thakurji here, right? Now, if let's say you had walked in and you say, guess what? You have to get out. This is now my room. Now would I think, oh yeah, Krishna, but I would think, this is my room. What do you think? This is my room. It's very difficult, this mind. We might have some kind of intellectual understanding I'm not the body, right? But the real feeling that everything, I am Krishna's, everything is Krishna's, like this, that is something we have to try and practice. We have to try and practice. This is Gurudev's. Even our money, what is the money? Is it my money? No, it's Gurudev's money. It's Krishna's money. All of us. This is something we have to really try and practice. And if we can follow these, not committing these 10 offenses, then gradually, as we talked about, have you seen this chart before? This is nice. This is the Bhakti Lata, the creeper of devotion. This is from the Madhurya Kadambini. And we start out with faith, a little bit of faith. Then we get sadhu sangha. You know this word? Yeah. Sadhu sangha, and with sadhu sangha, we start following the instructions, bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti, all the anarthas start going. Then nishta, ruchi, ashakti, bhav comes. Bhav. And if we're not committing offenses, we're not getting blocked, we're not getting sent down again. How unfortunate. How many times have we come up and flunked and come back horrible? But let's not have any barriers. No offenses. Then bhav comes. And from bhav, our spiritual body comes. Then we realize we're not the body. Really realize I'm not the body. This material body is going. The spiritual body manifests and prem comes. The material body is gone. And we enter into the Leela of Radha and Krishna, where we have prem. We no longer think I am Krishna's. I am Radharani's maidservant. We're meant for the pleasure. Everything is theirs for their pleasure. So, and at that point, there's not even a smell, not even a whiff of aparādha and the results of aparādha. Not until finally we get prema, we get direct darshan. Then even the tiniest little impression that was there from our past aparādhas is completely gone. So we should be very serious about practicing our bhakti for the pleasure of Sri Guru, as an offering of gratitude to Sri Guru, to the Vaishnavas, gratitude for what they've given us. They've given us the greatest wealth. Harinam, Premanam. This Premanam will save us at the time of death. They will be there. We won't have to take another material birth if we could actually chant properly. And if we, by their mercy, we don't have to take another material birth. But if we do, we'll get a much higher birth. What a great wealth. We can go back home, back to God, and get our spiritual body. So, they've given us so much. So we do, okay, because I'm a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Yeah. Okay, Prabhupada, what can I do for you? How can I please you? How can I serve you? I know my sadhan bhajan is there. That's for everyone, no matter who you're, But you also have other service to Sri Guru or the Vaishnavas, And that's Jiva Doi, assisting Mahaprabhu in his helping all the fallen conditioned souls. That's there. In whatever way we can. Just asking everyone. Yeah, you don't even have to ask them. In India, it's really easy. You just go Radhe Radhe, and they go Radhe Radhe. Yeah, in Vrindavan, Or in Delhi, Hare Krishna, and usually they'll go Hare Krishna. Something. But even in New York City, Hare Krishna, even if they don't say it back, they've heard it. Or you can go out and distribute a few books, whatever. Give out Mahaprasadam out of gratitude. And then they give their mercy. It's only by the mercy of Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas will we come up. Will we eventually get bhav and prem. We cannot get it on our own work. This is not karma. This is bhakti. Bhakti is a path of love and affection. Love and affection and mercy. So we should try our best. And if we do commit offenses, not willingly, we should not do them willingly. And if we commit offenses, we should go to the sadhus, we should beg for forgiveness, we should stay with them, we should serve them, and we should continuously chant Harinam. And always be remorseful and regretful in our heart, always. And so actually all of us should be doing that all the time, because we should understand that we've committed offenses in the past. So now we should be while we're chanting, this is the beginning of humility. I am so fallen. I've committed so many offenses. Who knows? I've offended everybody in the entire world, probably one of my lifetimes. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I brought you pain in some way. Please forgive me. With this kind of mood, then we can go forward. Please, how can I help you? Please forgive me. And if you did anything to me, I forgive you, that's for sure. It's like, this is bhakti. We come before Krishna with our flower or with our apple, whatever. Oh, Krishna, I am so fallen. I am such a wretched person. And I have nothing. You've even given me this, but it's all I have. You please accept. You please accept. See, this kind of Krishna will then accept. But if we go, oh, Krishna, I have this golden, necklace for you. I paid $5 billion for it. You better accept it. It's like, that was all. He'll probably say, well, you can go take it elsewhere. Just go take it elsewhere. It's like, isn't it like Duryodhana? Remember, he invited Krishna to take some meal. And it was all gold, it was everything. And Krishna said, well, I'm not very hungry. I don't think so. And he didn't want to do what Krishna wanted either. Krishna wanted him just even to give a few little villages to the Pandavas, But where did Krishna go? He went to Vidura's house, didn't he? But Vidura wasn't there, his wife was there, Vrindavana. And she was in so much ecstasy when Krishna came. She had the bananas, and she didn't even know what she was doing. She was giving Krishna the banana peels. And he was just taking them in ecstasy. He was so happy. There was no gold, there was no anything. And Vidura comes and says, oh, what are you doing? Give him the bananas. And then Krishna says, oh, no, the banana peels were so much more tasty than the bananas because it was her ecstasy, her love and affection. That's what we're talking about, love and affection. So if you think about the 10 offenses, if we're committing them, it certainly means it's not love and affection. If we're criticizing people, if we're blaspheming the Vedas, if we're, committing sin on the street. No. So we want love and affection. Everybody's looking for happiness. Everyone's looking for love and affection in this world. And why are they not getting it? Too many offenses, huh? Offensive behavior. Like I'll give you an example in my life. I've now become an Indian citizen, just recently, and I had to go for interviews here in Mathura, in Lucknow. I didn't have to go to Delhi. And in Lucknow, the head man I had to see, he couldn't understand because I was born in America. And most everybody thinks America is really great. They all want to go to America. Money grows on trees there, right? Whatever it is. There's an attraction about America. And he asked me, why do you want to become an Indian? Why do you want to give up your American citizenship? And I looked at him and I said, are you Hindu? And he said, yes. I said, are you vegetarian? He said, yes. I said, how would you like to live in a country where they're killing their mother and eating their mother every day, all day? And he was like, they didn't thought of that. This is the West. And even if you're a vegetarian, they're not offering it to God. It's karma. You're getting your karma. You see, even if you're a vegan, that's even all over India now, isn't it? I saw a chart of vegetarianism, just not prasadam. Prasadam is what's the goal, but just being even in India, there's no state in India that's 100% vegetarian. None, zero. The best is Rajasthan, but it was only like 60% or something. It wasn't so high, Where's the compassion? Where's the love and affection? And we know better. Now, maybe in the West, they don't know better. So, but at least in India, everyone should know better. And even Christians should know better. Muslims should know better. So, if we want bhakti, if we eventually want prema, if we want to be happy, then we'll stop. And we'll just try and do simple bhakti for the pleasure of Shri Guru, Vaishnavas, and Krishna. Become selfless, Don't need anything. We don't need someone to pay us. We don't need name and fame. We just want Krishna to be happy. Okay, I think we'll stop there unless someone has something to say or question or anything. No? Okay.
So,
yeah.
Just one thing. Maybe you can throw some light on how Krishna is actually inside us?
Oh, that's a big subject matter. Because he's there in many ways. Because he's there as super soul. You know, and that is, if you have read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, that's the whole chapter about Nityananda Tattva. It starts with Balaram, you know, and Mahashankarshan, Shankarshan, Mahavishnu, Karandakshay, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu. And Shirodakshay Vishnu is in every atom, the super soul for everyone, coming from the first expansion of Krishna Balaram. He's there in everyone's heart, but he's also in every atom. Krishna's there, coming down through Balaram. And it's coming from Shirodakshay Vishnu. He's there, right? But when one actually becomes a devotee, and one becomes more advanced, Radha, if you're a devotee of Radha and Krishna are there. You see? You will see, and they're there. Your guru, if you have guru is there. But you have to only conceive by the eyes of faith. Like for me, I know Prabhupada's always with me. Always. He's in my heart, he's there. He's Satguru. Because wherever Krishna is, all of his devotees are there. And wherever Krishna is, Vrindavan's there. So the heart is actually Vrindavan. Unless you're a devotee of Ram, then it's Ayodhya or whoever, wherever, you know, like this. It's a matter of adhikar, you see, to understand. And also tattva. If you understand that tattva, I mean, the material world couldn't even exist if the Shakti isn't there, and the Shakti is Radha and Krishna, you see. This is the material creation. It comes from Maya Shakti, but Maya Shakti is just a manifestation of Chit Shakti, you know, like this Swarup Shakti. This material creation is simply one of the Leelas of Krishna for his pleasure. And he's always there. Always. Yeah. Any other? Anything?
Always, when you live in material world, you have material responsibilities. How do you manage your devotion to God simultaneously without compromising each other?
Well, that depends, of course, on one's qualification. But one tries to have in the morning some time when they can do just their sadhana bhajan. And that's there without fail. Even if it's 5 minutes, but something. Like actually one should have Mangalarti to make their day auspicious. Even if it's one stick of incense for 1 minute, Hare Krishna. Something, you see? And some Hare Krishna even is 5 mantras or something. And we should only take Mahaprasadam, never take anything else. If you actually have to go to a restaurant, you at least offer in your mind, say Hare Krishna, you only take Mahaprasadam. And when you're doing your responsibilities, let's say you're at home, you're a housewife, you can hear, sometimes you can hear audios or something, or you can sing, you can do kirtan when you're at home. Now if you're at work, now that's a little bit more tricky, isn't it? Unless the work is very favorable. But if the work isn't so favorable, that's when you really have to try and practice remembering. You have to try. And if you have a break, you can maybe go off a little way and channel, do something. But you have to try and practice seeing, oh, that person is actually a spirit soul. You know, you practice the philosophy. Oh, this person yelled at me. Oh, that I must have yelled at someone in my past. This is just my... You see what I mean? Like this. You try and bring in Krishna consciousness in whichever way you can. Now, when you're more advanced, you can still be thinking of all the pastimes of Krishna while you're typing away or doing everything. But that's a high... You can't imitate that. It's either there or it's not. You know? But you start a little bit by practicing. And if you can find someone favorable, you can always say Hare Krishna to them or something. You know what I mean? You have to try some way to bring Krishna in there. That's practicing bhakti, you see? Because we do have to sometimes do these things, because if you have a family, you have to the family has to be maintained. You know, it has to be there. So, like that. It's not easy. It's very difficult. You know, and then at the night you should have at least 5-10 minutes when you do something. So you keep yourself in the proper balance, because usually what I see is that, and you shouldn't, it's best if when we finally finish our work or something and we're tired and we want a little relief, then we choose sense gratification instead of Krishna. Oh, I think I better go out to a mundane movie so I can just relax. You've choose Maya instead of Krishna when you had a choice. At work you may not have a choice, but after work, what are we doing with the time after our work or before our work? What are we doing with our time? You see? We need to choose Krishna. And at work we need to find out somehow how we can, sometimes if you're doing something you can just have this on because nobody can hear what you're doing and it doesn't matter. And it doesn't interfere with your work. So it depends on the situation, isn't it? But we have to actually want Krishna. See, as Srila Prabhupada would always say, there's only two things, Maya and Krishna. Anytime, anywhere. And you're either choosing to serve Maya or you're choosing to serve Krishna. So we have to see like this. We have to become, we have to actually, yoga means to control the mind. And the mind's our worst enemy. It's full of our past samskars for unlimited lifetimes. It's our worst enemy. If you just let your mind go, it's going to tell you, oh yeah, go off and do this, eat that, go do that. Oh yeah, it's not going to say, oh, why don't you just go to the temple for 5 to 10 minutes? And why don't you do darshan? Why don't you do parikama? Why don't you take the charanamrita? You see? Usually our minds are not, our minds, until we become more qualified, our minds are not always, and they might a little bit do that, because we are trying to become devotees, but it's also full of all these past samskars. As Indians, though, maybe you were brought up as devotees, and so you would, but I know as us Westerners, we have a lot of samskars that are not so favorable. Oh, I just need to go up to the mountains. I think I should go to Manali. Vrindavan is so polluted here, it's Vrindavan, and yeah, but I think I need to go get some fresh air, and see some mountains, and, and there's beautiful flowers, and there's nice apples up there, Hare Krishna. But we can't imitate,
Just adding on to her question. So maybe, obviously, the more time you can spend after taking a bath, praying, the more the better. But say at times you're in a hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at times you're in a different place. Maybe you've gone to a different city.
Yes.
And then now you just have like 2 minutes, 3 minutes between taking a bath and leaving. And that's 3 minutes is all you have to pray.
But let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very merciful. Okay. Whether you've taken bath or not taken bath, whether you're lying down or sleeping, Harinam. You can do kirtan of Hare Krishna or any kirtan. Even when you're passing stool, you can chant the holy name. That story is there in Mahaprabhu's Leela. There was a little boy named Gopal. And Mahaprabhu was going, because he had the Leela, he would do his duties, right? And he was holding his tongue. And Gopal says, what are you doing that for? He says, because I'm going to go, and it's going to be an unclean place, and the holy name is pure. And Gopal, this little boy, preached to him and said, you have to chant the holy name no matter what. No matter what, is what Mahaprabhu says. Because what if at the time of death, you're not, and you're passing stool and urine, and you aren't going to chant? You don't want to hear the holy name? So the holy name is pure. And we're the spirit soul. We're not the body. We're not the stool. We're not the urine. We should always do kirtan. No matter what. That's what it says, isn't it? Harinam, Harinam, Harinam eva kevalo. Kalu anasteva, anasteva, anasteva katir anyata. Chant the holy name, chant the holy name, chant. Now if you're doing your Diksha mantras, then that's different. Diksha mantras, you have to be clean, has to be everything paka. But the holy name, whether you're qualified, not qualified, clean, not clean, here, it doesn't matter. You can always chant the holy name. That is the mercy of Nitai Gaur. Nitai Gaur. Chant the holy name.
maybe I have one more question.
Yeah.
It's more towards a fashion.
Who what?
Fashion. So the tikas that we see here.
Yeah.
There are different ways people put on the tikas.
Yeah.
So what
We
does
call it
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu-
tilak.
Tilak.
That's what we call it.
So what does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? Like some people. have
This
something-
tilak is
Yeah.
the followers of Rupa Goswami and Mahaprabhu.
Okay.
And there's different ones. It basically means you're a Rupanuga Gaudiya, you're a Gaudiya Vaishnava. But there's many, it could mean this is Vrindavan, this is a Tulsi, Radha and Krishna. You know, there's many ways of explaining
Different
it.
followers are different styles.
No, it's all Gaudiya Vaishnavas, but you'll see one's going this way, that's usually the Shivites, this one means something. Different, there's 4 sampradayas, different sampradayas have different tilak. It usually means whatever acharya they're following.
Oh.
That's what it usually means.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it's getting late, so I think we'll stop here. We'll have kirtan. We're gonna have a little kirtan.
Definitely.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shri Bhakti Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Radha
Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur, Haribo. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Radhika Raman Radhika Krishna Banamali Giriju Ki Jai Ho Vancha Kalpatuvisa Kripa Sindhu Vyevicha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you all.
Thank you.